And I'm Dimitra Georgoutsos. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report.
From a childhood cancer survivor to a now current student here at Penn State, Kira Woods represents the lasting effect that Thon has on many people's lives.
A group of student journalists from Scotland is here today to cover the U.S. election. Personally, I'm looking forward to the whiteout game being a night game this year.
Nearly 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene slammed ashore in Florida, the number of dead keeps rising. It's now at least 227. Especially hard hit is North Carolina, including the mountain town of Asheville. Nearly 600 miles away in State College, college students like Dylan Molis are keeping a close eye on family and friends there. The Penn State telecommunications student is from Asheville, and he says it's been challenging.
I didn't have any feelings. I didn't know. I was shocked. I was panicked. I didn't know whether to be angry, whether to be sad. Part of me wanted to cry, part of me wanted to punch a wall. I didn't know what to do.
With phone lines and service down, Molis wasn't able to reach his family and for days didn't know how they were doing.
There has never been a time where I have not been able to reach my family. They're always, if I call them, they always drop everything to answer.
Former FEMA Administrator Pete Gaynor says it's hard to imagine the toll the storm took on North Carolina.
There are no infrastructure left in some of these communities, so no water, no telecommunications, no power. And so it's going to be a monumental effort in some of these communities to kind of get some of the basic necessities back, like being able to talk on your phone.
Fortunately, Molis eventually got the news that his family is safe and their home is still standing.
I'm glad that I'm safe, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to be back there because people I love are suffering, and the town that I love is suffering. And, I want to suffer with them.
Asheville continues to face critical challenges as it works to recover from the hurricane's impact. In State College, I'm Dimitra Georgoutsos for the Center County Report. Penn State's 46-hour dance marathon, better known as Thon, has raised millions of dollars to fight childhood cancer and support patients' families for over 50 years. It's touched countless lives, including Kira Woods. She was just 13 years old when she was diagnosed with a rare blood cancer.
My actual transplant, it's called quote unquote Hell Week. And that's where you just are being pumped with chemotherapy.
After an urgent biopsy in 2018, doctors confirmed the diagnosis and she began treatment the very next day.
I want to say it's a couple months of chemo just packed into 1 week. And they're trying to get you down to your literal worst, your immune system, your body, just so then your body has a better chance of accepting the stem cells of my donor.
But months of isolation and chemo couldn't dampen Kira's spirit. When she returned to high school, she started her own fundraiser for Thon called Kira Strong, and her peers crowned her homecoming queen.
But there's this picture of my dad tearing up, after I won and went up and got the crown, whatever. It's one of my favorite pictures, and then especially this one picture of my mom, dad, and I after I won with the crown, because I know they won so much for me and just everything that I've been through, and then they've also been through they've done so much for me.
Through her journey, Thon was a source of hope. Paired with Greek organizations Alpha Gamma Rho and Phi Sigma Sigma, Kira found comfort in a community that rallied behind her.
But I remember talking to one of the boys, Brendan, specifically Brendan Batavio. He was yeah, just because you're our Thon kid doesn't mean we're not going to be friends or treat you any differently than just another student who goes to Penn State. And then that's when I knew yeah, they're not just people who support me, they're my friends.
Now, Kira is stepping into a new chapter as a Penn State freshman. She remains deeply connected to Thon and is volunteering for the upcoming Thon. From a childhood cancer survivor to a now current student here at Penn State, Kira Woods represents the lasting effect that Thon has on many people's lives. In University Park, I'm Dimitra Georgoutsos for the Center County Report. It's a sort of retail therapy at your fingertips.
That little dopamine hit when you, click purchase or a box appears at your door, it definitely can make you happy for a moment.
Financial experts like Courtney Alev from Credit Karma say recent major world events are driving doom spending, and people are using their wallets to cope.
Whether that's the economy, whether that's you're trying to find a job, whether that's the election and the unknowns around it.
Bankrate data shows more than half of Americans say they feel they are getting bombarded with bad news online, and that's affecting how they spend their money.
Once we peel back the layer of the money, it really is about the feelings. What's going on? Are you scared? Are you worried? Are you celebrating?
But experts warn this add-to-cart approach is a short-lived strategy that can have long-term consequences.
This combination of both high interest rates and doom spending, as well as high cost of living, is definitely can be a perfect storm, especially for those younger consumers who are still really building their financial safety net.
Doom spending is hitting close to home, especially for college students. Experts say that this shopping trend could lead to long-term financial challenges. Instead, they recommend putting the screens down and putting your energy into other activities that make you feel good.
Go outside, feel the breeze, feel the cold air if that's where you live, or the hot air, no matter where you are. It helps you to come back to nature, to be like, okay, I need to be a little bit more mindful in what's going on with me.
I'm Dimitra Georgoutsos for the Center County Report.
Good afternoon, I'm Chris Reynolds.
And I'm Dimitra Georgoutsos. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. State College was the center of the college football world over the weekend, with a huge top 5 matchup and national pregame shows on campus. Reporter Isabella Cahill takes a look. This week, former President Donald Trump is set to return to the western Pennsylvania scene of his attempted assassination. There are 11 races we're covering today in Center County, from president to state lawmakers. Reporter Thomas English shows you the political seats that voters are deciding. A satellite election office plans to open on Penn State's University Park campus to help students and others navigate election year a little easier. But reporter Michaela Robinson says not everyone is happy about the move. That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us Friday for our next local news update. A group of student journalists from Scotland is here today to cover the U.S. election. They're from the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow, Scotland, and are spending this week in State College and Philadelphia. We called the Center County Elections Office for comment about the story, but they refused to talk with us. We'll bring you live coverage and results on election night, Tuesday, November 5th. Thanks, Hannah. Coming up next. On the Republican side, Donald Trump will spend election night in Palm Beach, Florida, watching the votes come in. CNN reporter Ivan Rodriguez has the latest from Florida. The group will watch election results tonight in State College and head back home later this week. And you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X. And you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good afternoon.